Hey everyone, another little tutorial here today. So within the last 3 weeks, DJI have updated the firmware on the Air 3 and also the Mini 4 Pro. One of the updates we're focusing on today is the Active Tracking 360. Now it's an upgrade on the active tracking that the Air 3 had before. So I just thought I'd give you a bit of a rundown on it and how to use it and see how good these new upgraded features are. So to access these features, you go up to the top there, you go into control, as you can see, and when you want to go to Smart Shot settings, okay, so now you can only track person and vehicle. Now I don't know how that's going to go tracking a bike, which I've done before, or a boat. I suppose a boat is a vehicle, but anyway, that's for another video. So a few new features here. You can set the distance and the height where you'd like the drone to follow the subject from. As you can see, the subject is indicated by a little person right there in the middle of the graph. Then we've got the outer circle, inner circle. Now I'm going to set to follow the inner radius by 6 metres, 7 metres, 6 metres. The height, we're going to go 1.5, 2 metres in height. Normal motion, we're not going fast or anything. Near ground flight, we're going to leave that off for now. So let's rock and roll, give it a whirl, Bill. Okay, so as always, when you want to track something, draw the rectangle around the subject, and the subject being me. We're going to go active shots there, press go. Now you can choose from auto, manual or parallel. So today we're just going manual, and on the little graph down here in the bottom left, you can easily just touch, and that's where the drone will go to. It's so much easier than before. Another really cool feature is if you just press and then drag, that is where the drone will go to automatically. That is fantastic. It's so cool. So I'm just walking along, not touching it, and the drone's just going to go there to where I set it to, and it'll stop once it gets over to my right. Now it's just going to keep tracking me parallel like that. So that's pretty cool. Right, we're down here. This is the Tweed River on the New South Wales-Queensland border. Beautiful part of the world. So we're just going to go for a stroll up to the beach, walking along the footpath here. Now there's a few trees that the drone's going to have to navigate around. Let's see how we go. I'm walking at a hefty trot or gait here. I'm not ambling along. So I can hear the drone in the background, so I suppose that's a good thing. All right, I'm just going to, person coming, so I'm going to put the drone up a bit higher. Just for safety, I don't want the drone running into people or people running into the drone. So even after doing that, it's still following me really good. So I'm bringing the drone down, just down in altitude a little bit. Here we go. Good test for it here. Now it's navigated these trees really, really well. So around the bend here, now there's some trees here that are really hanging low, so we'll see how it goes there. Now what's it going to do? Is it going to go over or is it going to go around? So I'm just looking at the screen watching. I'm going to look back. It's just gone right around those trees, really good. So the optical sensor working really good, and around the tree again. Okay, so touch of a button on the active tracking graph. That's going to go swing it around to the left. Yes, it does it quite well. There is a momentary lag in it, but that's to be expected. So let's see what it does here. There's a couple of big trees just straight between those trees. Good job, buddy. You do really well, you know that. So just going to bring it from behind again. So just let me get in front. I'm approaching the beach here, Duranbar Beach, or D-Bar as it's also known. Just a touch off the screen there. It's on manual. Okay, and again, I'm going to make it do a complete 360. It actually won't let me do a complete 360. It's going to go close. So it's pretty much a really wide circle. And once the drone where you know where it is, you don't even need to look at the controller, which is really good for people that do, creators that are out on their own and don't have anybody to film them, or they, walking a long way from their other camera that's mounted on a tripod or whatnot. All right, I'm walking a fair bit out of this rock wall, so I'm going to head back. Now, I must say, whenever you do that touch and drag your finger for the drone to follow, where it stops is where it's going to continue filming from. So those waves look a little bit mushy, but quite surfable. A lot of surfers out there. All right, I'm going to bring the altitude down. Now, I find that's maybe a little bit too close, as in distance from the subject, namely being me. I'm going to bring it around to the right. Now, I'm pretty impressed with this Active Track 360. It's just so simple to use and so fast. There's no fiddling around going through settings or anything like that. Just a touch of the screen and there it goes. Now, it seems to be a bit of a bucking bronco at the moment, so I don't know why. So I've just got it set parallel. Right. Put it back in manual. I've got kids over the other side, so I'm going to make it follow to the left. I don't want to run into any kids. Kids tend to get a little bit excited when they see a drone. You can understand why. Drones are fun, people. All right, that's the Point Danger background that you could see beyond the beach there. Is where Captain Cook named it, Point Danger. Back when I was just a wee lad. Thought that kid had a snake then, he's just shaking a rope. We're going to go to the follow from the front. Now the front I've always had, made me feel a bit apprehensive, especially when you go around corners or bends. Now that's up too high, so I'm bringing it down. It's at the minimum flight altitude now. Now that's much better. Now, it gives me a lot of background footage, and it looks really cool. Now I'm just shooting in auto here, approaching a few more people, so you're going to just pick it up a little bit in altitude just for safety's sake. All right. Now, like I said, I get a bit apprehensive when it follows from the front. I just don't know how that rear sensor is going to react, especially on the sweeping turns. Oh, I thought it was going to hit then. Oh, you be careful up there, buddy, okay? Oh, that's really close. I'm sure you can see that on the screen. All right, out in the open field. So there's basically not a lot more. to this Active Tracking 360. Really simplified, and which is good. You don't want anything to be too complicated to be able to use. It's just pressing here, making sure you're aware of your surrounds. Even though it does have the obstacle sensors, you still got to watch it with trees, bushes, etc., but more importantly with people. Yes, it will avoid people, but you don't want it getting too close. So that's the beauty of being able to adjust the altitude, lower it or higher it, make it higher as you go along, just for safety's sake. All right, I'm just going to stop this active tracking and going to give it a burl on the 3x lens. Well, I'm going to have to stop the recording there on the drone itself. Again, rectangle around the subject. Active shots, go. Okay, one thing I didn't do when I changed it to the 3x zoom is change the distance parameters. So it's still following me at 6 meters. So all that's going to do now for you folk watching on your computer screens is you get to see my ugly mug a little bit closer. Now, I apologise for that. I'll give you nightmares for days. Okay, so on the 3x zoom here, going backwards. Oh, you've got to be careful there, buddy. You're really all over the place, man. I know you're like jam-packed full of technology. Just take your time, okay? Now, I don't know if it's just bouncing around because of the wind gust, or it's having some kind of issue. We're just trying to maintain the distance between me and the drone. But going all right. If you crash, don't land in the water. Oh, gets really close to that. I'm not hearing any audible alarms, but I can see it on the screen, the colours that come up. Now, this will be very interesting. We're going to go... You're going to go right under? Whoa, you're very close. Come on, buddy. What are you doing? Decide what you're doing. Oh, all right. That's enough of that. All right, just a little bit nervous there. So I was just following from behind, sweeping right around. What are you doing, mate? You're supposed to be following me from behind, not the side. All right, so I'm just going to stop this and put it back onto... Just going to move this screen recording widget. All right, press stop there. Going to have to press stop recording on the drone. All right, that's the only downside so far that I'm finding with the Active Track 360. You can't switch cameras on the Airfree mid-record whilst you're recording, or you have to actually totally exit the active tracking altogether. So I've gone back into the wide angle lens, rectangle around again, active shots, manual, press go, record on the drone. We're going to follow from the front. So you're already there, so stay there, buddy. Just back up a little bit. And away we go. Bring it down in height a bit. Now that is a really advantageous feature, that you can adjust the altitude without going back into settings. Just move the joystick up and down, hold the controller by your side. Really cool and nifty feature, I must say. So buddy, I'm going to get you to follow from the right, top right, to just off a bit. Going to come down in height. We're going to just go back now, just to wrap all this recording up. It's done really well again. So this active tracking, the free Active Track 360, the update is well worth it, well worth waiting for. Apparently it's been in the pipeline for a little bit. Now that it's in existence, I'll definitely use it a whole lot more. I'll delve more into the auto Active Track 360. I do know it's more than just a Helix and a Droney, so that'll be another video to come. Back on with the seeing eyeglasses. Come in a bit closer, buddy. All right, how do you like that? Yeah? I think you did really, really good. So there we have it, people. A quick rundown of the Active Track 360. Like I said, I'll delve more into other settings, and Vision Assist is another one that was part of the firmware update that happened a few weeks ago from DJI. So there's a whole lot more to look forward to. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Always goes a long way, and as always, is very much appreciated. See you next time.